Hello, I'm Adam, pastor of youth ministry here at Ninth and O Baptist Church, and this is Devotionables, brief devotions for busy people. Today we're continuing our series, talking about verses that, a lot of the time get taken out of their context, be misapplied, misunderstood, and I think for Christians just kind of put in our consciousness of they mean something that they don't actually mean. So today we're talking about Romans 8:28. Let me read it for us. This is from the ESV. And we know that for those who love God, all things work together for good, for those who are called according to His purpose. So there's this new show on NBC that I really like because it's cheesy, and every episode ends this huge cliffhanger called Manifest, and my wife hates it for the same reasons. And Romans 8:28 plays a very prominent role in this whole show. In the beginning, the numbers 8:28 are everywhere. 828, 828, 828. And the phrase, all things work for good, is on pillows, it's in the sky, it's on the side of buildings. And around this whole show, as this kind of sci-fi mystery is going on, is this notion that, don't worry, all things will work for good. But in this sentiment, I'm afraid, is also in the Christian consciousness of, hey, all things work for good. All things work for good. No matter what's going on, all things work for good. And that's just not the case. That, first of all, it's not even honest to the verse. And then secondly, it's not honest to the context which the verse is in. I think this started probably with just the normalizing of all things work for good, came from the KJV. Just that's how it's phrased, all things work for good, while I just read the ESV. Tries to fight that normalization of just all things work for good, a blanket statement with, and we know that those who love God, all things work for good for those who are called according to His purpose. And so, but it's still kind of in our psyche, all things work for good. But what does that mean? Should we believe that God will just make all things work for good? And what does that mean of good? What is good? So a lot of times we think or we hope that good is just what we want it to be. Oh, good is, please God, give me what I want. This is for my good. And we forget that actually good is not just what we think, because we have a limited scope compared to God's knowledge of the entire universe, that good spans even things in our lives that are difficult, even trials. Belief that God is so supreme, so great, that He's in charge of the world, that all things that happen to Christians are ordered this way, which is for our good, which means even our trials, even peril that we go through is ordered this way for our good. That all these things are instruments of His mercy for our ultimate good. And this takes more faith to believe than just, God, please make this work for my good as the way I see it fit. But no, God, that your will be done, that what you think is good, what you say is good, even if it means difficulty for me. That takes much more faith. And so let us be people like Joseph, who in Genesis 50:20 say to his brothers, no, you intended this for evil, but God intended this for good. Thanks for listening, and have a great day.